You are one of a handful of Democrats who have signed on to the tax pledge, the only one in the new Congress. You do not feel bound by it. In fact, you've said you are married to your wife, not Grover Norquist. This is normally...
Lucky me.
Lucky you. I agree with you. This is not normally thought of as a pledge for Democrats. It's thought of as a Republican pledge. Why did you sign on to it in the first place?
In 1992, I signed on to the pledge because I thought a tax increase at that moment in our economy would be wrong, and I honored the pledge. I voted against tax increases. My understanding was it was for that one Congress. I've never renewed it, and I think that flexibility in doing what's right for the country is a heck of a lot more important than what Mr. Norquist wants.
And I'm looking at a copy of the pledge here, and it's got a lot of detail, but it doesn't actually have an expiration date or a reference to how long it is. But a number of your colleagues have said the same thing, that I signed it at a time. I don't think it's forever. It's not a marriage. The other Democrats who signed the pledge, by the way, were either voted out of office or decided not to seek re-election. Norquist's group spent upward of $300,000 to defeat Representative Ben Chandler from Kentucky after he went back on the pledge. Are you worried about the consequences?
No, I'm worried about my constituents who are unemployed, who are struggling to make their businesses succeed or make their home values go up. And I think if we worried less about Washington politics and more about the economy, we'd do a better job. I'm in favor of something like the Simpson-Bowles approach being adopted here that has about $3 of spending cuts for every dollar of new revenue, cuts the deficit by $4 trillion, and gets the country back on the right track.
You know, that's where some of the sticking point is. So we think that the sticking point is just on Republicans who don't want to raise taxes, but they say that it's on Democrats who are not willing to cut spending. What Republicans want to hear from Democrats is specifically what they're prepared to cut, what they're willing to agree to in exchange for that tax cut. So you're saying 3-1. It's an interesting number. Do you have some sense, though, that once you start getting to real cuts, all the low-hanging fruit is gone? Now everything you cut is going to hurt.
I agree. I think there have to be some mature decisions. Look, I would favor, on a fair and equitable basis, a slight delay in the age at which people can get Medicare. What I favor is if you're under 55 years of age, you'd have to wait 1 month for every 1 year that you're under 55. So a person 50 years old will get their Medicare when they're 65 years and 5 months old. I wouldn't change it for anybody who's on Medicare right now or over 55. Look, I would close about 2/3 of the military bases overseas in Asia and Europe. I would scale back I'd get rid of the ethanol subsidy altogether. I'd scale back on some of the sugar subsidies and other crop subsidies. And I think that there are things that we have to do, and I would do those things.